Hey, best friends.
Welcome to the Bestie Advice Podcast. Where we discuss all things relationships. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bestie Advice. It is your host, Karan Hayes, and my co-host, Dr. Irene Abrams. Hey, Bestie. And we are on for another recap of our favorite show, Kingdom Business. This week, we will be discussing episodes 4 and 5. So if you all have not watched our review of episodes 1, 2, and 3, just go on back, go to our YouTube page, go to the Bestie Advice and watch those episodes. And then also make sure that you log on to BET Plus so you can also be a part of the Kingdom Business family. We are supporters of Black businesses. We are supporters of Black shows, and this is a Black Christian show. So we are very, very proud of the writers and the creators of this show. We might not always agree on everything, that they talk about, everything that's shown, but we are proud of these Black people. So with us, as usual, we have our two special guests, our two special co-hosts. We have our friend Tawana Porter. Hey, Tawana. We also have my sister, no, I'm joking. My sister, no, that's real, y'all. My sister, Stephanie Jones. Hey, Steph.
Hey.
Hello.
Stephanie with her JD.
Exactly. Yes.
Let them know you got that Juris Doctorate book.
Absolutely. So we are going to go ahead and jump right in to episode 5. You know what? I can't say this, y'all, before we go ahead and get started. It is kind of picking up, as far as we, kind of get on through the episodes, things are kind of picking up. I already said that much. Things are kind of picking up, a little bit more excitement is there. It is a lot of, loops and holes. Like, wait, did I miss something? Do I need to go back? What just happened right there? A lot of things are being revealed. We was wondering, episode 1 and 2, like, what are we talking about? I'm not understanding. So some questions are actually being answered in episodes 4 and 5 as well. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Irene, you want to go ahead and kick us off with episode 4? I think the name of episode 4 is, because I'm about these titles, If I Could. That's the name of episode 4, If I Could.
I would definitely agree with you. Watching episode 4, I was a little bit more encouraged, episode 4 and 5 than I was. I got some of the answers that I was, that I had questions to, but I will say it's still a little cliche-ish, especially with the bishop, and then, finding out the bishop sleeping with Tamar. I'm just bishop. Real bishop. That's
like slow down.
That's what we're doing. So, I will say, but I will say in all seriousness, it did pick up. I think, Tawana, you kind of shared with us just to give it a little bit time off camera, a little bit more time. So I'll have to say that it did pick up a little bit for me. I'm still quite disappointed with the characters, especially the bishop, as I keep saying in this particular episode, just seeing how grimy he is, trying to get all this evidence erased, and then his wife recording in one room and he's sleeping with Tamar. Well, I guess her name ain't Tamar. What's her name?
I don't even know her name.
Sasha.
Sasha.
It's Sasha, yeah.
Sasha in another room. Then well, I don't want to start just diving into the episode. I want Tawana and Stephanie to kind of where I also start just going in. But I just, my opinion is you're right, y'all. It's picked up. So I suspect that by the end of our review, I may give it a tanch bit of a higher rating. So
the tanch bit.
Tanch. So Tawana and Stephanie, I'll let you guys kind of talk through the episode. I won't kind of talk through it.
Okay. Well, I agree. It did pick up a little bit, but I think it picked up because Miss Danita was not in the episodes as much as episodes 1 through 3. So they gave her a little break and they let the real actors do their work to give us some more meat. And then they brought her in sporadically. And for me, that was what I needed. Tell me the stories of the other characters, and it will work. Also, I think in these episodes, I like the music more. I like that it focused on different parts of gospel. We'll probably get to Miss Essence version of gospel because that was not it. But I know we talked before about what's her name, Rebel, and was she really anointed? Did she have a gift? Why did they put her, as a comparison with Danita? But when she sang the song with her mother, I was like, okay, that was it. That is where we can see your gift. That is where we can see what's going on. But
just making me, not like her character all over again. And then the next scene with Sasha and the bishop was doing their thing. I just thought it was weird that it's like you're messing around with him, but then you also mentioned when he mentioned Danny, because she was like, basically, why you can't get into me? And he was like, oh, I'm thinking about her. And she was like, but you love me. I'm like, wait, so you know about her and her and her and her, and you okay with that? And you good with that? Okay, whatever.
Wait a minute, who is that? Who did you say?
When him and Tamar were in the back doing their thing, he wasn't like into her, and she was like, what's wrong? And then he was like, I'm just thinking about the girl who passed away. And he was talking about it as if she didn't know. And she's like, but I thought like you didn't love her, you love me, or whatever she referenced. But the fact that she knew about her and him, and she was still trying to, I'm like, oh, okay then, y'all. And then, when Rebel addressed Danita, she came for her in the room. I was like, that was some good energy. It's like, to me, it started to pick up a little drama because Rebel is like the type, her name fits her character. I could definitely say that, right? She just go against everybody's, way of what they think a person should be. She just walked in a room. She's like, get out my way. She's just a rebel, right? So she's just like, I'm going in here. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. And she didn't hold back her words when she found out that Danita was the one who had something to possibly do with her mom.
Right.
Her mom's death or whatever. She just kind of let her have it. And even then, Danita was trying to stand her ground and say what she said. It's like she just, I don't know, she's got this thing about her, like, I'm just gonna be who I am. I'm gonna say what I want to say. But then you got other people that feel the same way too. So I think the drama is picking up a little bit more to me.
And also too, when it comes to Danita, so we met who the father was. Lou Gossett, what's his name? Lou Gossett Jr. Is the dad.
They got a big budget.
Past from the past, right?
Exactly. And he is running things. So to me, the conversation with Danita and Calvin, as far as her pastor, her husband, and the father, it basically just confirmed, like, okay, y'all marriage is arranged. Like everything he said, it was like, okay, I placed you here. Calvin, I brought you here. You're only here because of me, not because you love my daughter loves you, you married her, and I gave the church to you. Like, no, I handpicked you to be the pastor of this church, to marry. I don't care if y'all don't like each other. You're gonna be the pastor of this church, you're gonna marry her, and y'all gonna smile for the camera or whatever. And then as far as she was like a kid around him. She really didn't say anything. He kept saying, do I need to fix this? Do I need to address Caesar? Do I need to do this? And of course, Calvin like, no, I get it. 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 Or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, that just confirmed that, okay, he set their marriage up.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I'll say my
It's
other
funny
comments
that
about that later. Some more
oh,
come out on the next episode.
well, sir, it says he said he wants to worship my body. Well, let me take you to my church, baby. Hallelujah to these lips. Hallelujah for these eyes. Hallelujah to these lips. Hallelujah to these thighs. Come welcome to my church, baby. And she said that this was not gospel. What did you all think of her gospel song?
So first of all, I like the beat, but because at first I was just like, "Hey," right? Then I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Did she just say?" Yeah, it was definitely
Sexual.
interesting.
You said it was what, Irene?
Very sexual.
It was. It was. It was out of order. Let's go ahead and call it what we're going to call it. It was out of order.
Definitely was out of order.
Wait a minute. And then he knew too, because he was sitting there like.
He was very uncomfortable. Yeah, he was very uncomfortable.
What's happening?
Yeah.
But I did like, he did tell her later when he told her it wasn't gospel, and she said, it is gospel. And his quote was, real gospel wouldn't make you want to grab your boyfriend's balls midday on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? But I am glad he said it, because so many times I feel like in this show they overlook stuff and they don't address the obvious.
Right.
So I was glad that he addressed what most people were thinking, that this is not gospel, and we can't have people walking around thinking that this is gospel and that this is okay.
Yeah. Or he say something to the effect of like, well, it's what you believe gospel is. No, baby.
And I think that
No.
Chris purposely put something like this in the show because him being a gospel artist, it's so many different music people, artists out there that claim what they're singing is gospel, and really not. And I think that was kind of his point. You can't sing what you want and just call it gospel. So that's kind of like what I try to find something in the show, like, okay, what are they saying here? What is the point here outside of it just being entertainment? Like, okay, is the point behind this? So yeah, I was looking like, well, I don't know what this is, but I did like the beat, like to your point, Twan. I was like, hey.
Look, right, because when the beat came on first, he was like, hey, and then she said, you was like, hallelujah, what? Like, that's not how we use hallelujah. That ain't what we do. Like, wow. No, go ahead.
No, come on.
But I don't know if I'm going too far, because I was going to say one part of, I don't know if we're into both 4 and 5, but when CJ, yes, did the counseling and the therapy, I thought that was an awesome aspect to this, because it opened up that it's okay for church people to pray and to also go to therapy. And I really, really thought that they drove that point really well.
Wait a minute. This is about to go over into episode. I think it's probably best to talk about it now because you said that. Is that me? Okay. Actually, I want to say, yes, this was in episode 5. So CJ is telling Taj that she's going to therapy, and she's actually talking to one of the church counselors, and he basically said, "Oh, that's fine and well, but I'm gonna need you to seek
professional
yeah. help." And not to say nothing against the church counselor, and I mean, we don't know if she's supposed to be licensed, or anything like that. or whatever. But he's like, yeah, yeah, that's good. But I'm gonna need you to seek some professional help as well. So it's okay to even go outside of, your pastor, to go outside of your first lady or whatever, to go outside of your church to actually seek professional counseling. I do believe, though, it should be a Christian counselor if you're a Christian, because you want them at the end of the day to say, I don't know, let's pray. Here goes some good scriptures for you. Not saying, hey, I'm gonna give you this good prescription or whatever. It's like, no, I'm gonna need you to back that up with the word of God. Tell me what I need to be doing. Besides saying you need to be, meditating and going to yoga. What else? What else, can I be doing?
Because I wondered. Oh, go ahead, Irene.
I'm glad that they brought that out. And then thinking about the first episode, we talked about how she never talked, and it's like finding out her history, the miscarriages and everything. It's like, oh, that's why. And so I really wish they would have explored it a little bit more, because like Stephanie was saying, okay, now you're starting to explore other characters, and it answers a lot of questions. But I was like, oh wow, this is a good storyline, finding out more about her, why she's like she is, not just being in the background to her mom just going off, but I did like, exploring that character, finding out more about her. I think it helped me be more interested in the show a little bit more. So that was all I want to say when you brought that up. I thought it was really good.
I wondered if the counselor was licensed, because when she was initially talking to her, she told her, oh, maybe I shouldn't have made this appointment, because people typically go back to my parents and tell them what occurred. And I was waiting for the counselor to tell her that, this is confidential, this is privileged, there are HIPAA laws. And the lady just smiled at her. So when he made the comment later about still go to a licensed person, it was like this. No, that's missionary Susie, who just plays this role at the church, because she never, yes, it's a TV show, but I think it's also important to address, real life things. And if you're going to a real life counselor, unless you are a minor, they should not be going back to report to your parents. So the fact that the lady just smiled at her, it was like, no, she's just volunteering for this.
And then reporting back to your parents, and you are a full-grown woman.
But guess what? That's real though, because they're operating in the same arena. So he was kind of letting her know. To your point, I didn't even notice that part, Steph, that he was letting her know, okay, it's good to talk to this person, but I mean, come on, people in the same area, it's gonna probably 9 times out of 10, it's gonna get back, right? So as opposed to going to a licensed person where you and your mama can have the same therapist. He better not say nothing, right? Nothing to my mama about what I just told him, even though I'm talking about her. So it's a big difference. So but I'm glad the end result, that she was able to get it off of her and not hold it in, right? And then her brother to kind of tell her, go see somebody else up on a more professional level. So then maybe she'll take that and, it continue to heal from everything. Because that's loaded. Like, she been through a lot. So
And I do like, of all the storylines, I think I like CJ's the most, because the writers are doing a very good job in connecting her storyline from week to week. Even when she was talking to Danita about the injunction, and she's trying to sit there and explain to her like what it says, and Danita makes a comment under her breath of, Taj would have known how to fix it. And then in that next scene with the counselor, she brings up, well, since Taj was born, I felt ignored. So I'm like, whoever is the person kind of looking over CJ's character, feel like they've done this before. The other characters, maybe not so much, but somebody is taking care and making sure that her storyline is like played out well throughout the show.
Right, that's what I was saying.
And whoever's doing her makeup is doing a really good job too.
I agree. I like there's a lot of characters aren't as developed. Even like the Beach being the bishop, it's like, okay, he's kind of I mean, this is his character in like most of his movies, you know, like the slimy, grimy person.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, that's easy. We already talked about Yolanda Adams kind of like overreact, you know, overact.
Mhm.
I guess everyone else is like you said, they're acting, they're doing what they're supposed to do, but their characters, like I want to know more about Rebel. I like that they explored with her mom and
Mhm.
trauma. I just think that character development is important, and because I haven't really connected with really any character, maybe CJ, you know, I
Mhm.
haven't found that, oh, you know how on each show you kind of connect with the character. And I think
Mhm.
maybe too, when we were talking about the bad acting in the first 3 episodes, I think that plays a lot because you're trying to find some sort of connection.
Mhm.
And I just saw this like a play, you know, like it was just overacting.
A
So yeah,
TP play.
I definitely agree with you, Stephanie, on that one.
But you know what? I can say though with Michael Beach, I'm not saying, you know, the whole I connected with him. He was just like me and I was like him. Mm-mm. But in the aspect of I see, I'm not justifying what he's doing at all, but I kind of see why he's doing certain things. One, this is a forced marriage.
Yeah.
Two, he don't love her. She doesn't love him. That's no. And then the fact is, he has to keep this game face on for her, for the church people, and for her father. He doesn't want to seem like he's a failure when it comes to her father. So I feel like he's doing everything he has to do to cover his tracks. Like if I gotta lie, I'm gonna lie, you know, or whatever. If I gotta put somebody down, I'm gonna put somebody down. I'm gonna step on whoever's neck, shoulders, whatever, to make sure I stay in good graces with her father, because I feel like her father, like he can do damage when it comes to him or whatever.
Power.
Yes, he did it with the daughter. You basically told your own daughter who you were going to marry and who you weren't going to marry. I mean, and I think that was an episode. No, that was in episode 5. I mean, oh my God. Irene, you know more about this. When they matching up the kid character to the adult character, I don't know where they got that man and woman from that was supposed to be Danita and Michael Jai White. Where they come from? I'm like, first of all, I was like, who is this dude? Then she come walking up, and I'm like, wait, that's Danita. What? But the fact is, even with them, like they were in love. He was getting ready to ask this woman to marry him. She wanted to say yes, but her father said no. This man ain't even talked to her daddy.
Did they address the abortion in episode 4 or 5?
No.
Oh, okay. Spoiler alert. Okay.
No. They talked. Oops.
They talked about that in 2 or 3. Well, I assume she had an abortion because he just said our baby would have been.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if they lost the baby or what.
I think they did touch that. I think they did make mention of that. It was that she got rid of it or something like that.
Okay. I was like, oh Lord, I thought okay.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
And this man still has the ring. So I don't know if this was, again, I know I'm mixing it up. I don't know if it was 4 or 5 where they're doing the interview. Danita and the bishop are doing the interview. And he's watching it, and he has the ring in his hand. And she's saying, oh, you know, I just love him. And it was just love at first sighted. But she's talking to the camera. She's not even looking at him. She's talking to the camera like she's trying to prove something. Like, I'm talking to you, Susan. I'm in love with him. It's only about him. It's not about you. And he's just sitting there like, girl, bye.
Something already know. Like, I think, I don't know. I think, I don't know. That they gonna make it where they get together, they accidentally get I don't know, something gonna happen, I think, with them.
I hope not, because what message does that send that I can treat you bad? all these years, I can do illegal stuff to you. I can take money out of your pocket, but at the end of the day, you still love me,
I still
and
love
we
you.
still go be together. It's like that
Take his name
couple
off
from
all the
Living
music.
Color.
You said what?
I say she took his name
Oh,
off all the music,
Yes.
yes.
But I think so.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna have to be on the opposite end of that because I feel like the stuff she's going through with her husband is just as bad because they got like this bad business relationship and they don't even
Yeah.
love each other. At
Yeah.
least, her and Caesar love each other and they got this little love hate type of relationship. But I also think that there's something going on with Rebel and Taj. I feel like there's some energy,
Mhm.
something
Oh
going
yeah.
on
I know that's gonna come out.
underlining
That's obvious. I know that's gonna come out.
Mhm.
it seemed like it's something going on there. What about the collaboration with Essence and Danita? Did y'all see
The
how she
song.
ended? But did you see how she ended the song? And after she finished her little note, she was like, "Little girl, I hit the floor." I was like, if she ain't petty, she is petty. I'm like, how
She
she gonna
is.
call up little girl? But then when they finally got it together, the song just made so much and they sound so
Yeah.
good together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how
That was one time Danita's acting was good. Like when she was questioning her in the room, well, what's your testimony and all. At
Wait.
that point, I feel like she's done that before in
Wait.
real life, so it came easy to do it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. When she went down that list, she says to her, she said, "Who's your covering?" And it's funny how CJ and Taj had to give her, I'm gonna give you the layman's term. What she really mean is, so when she said, "Who's your covering?" She basically saying, like, what church do you go to? Oh, I don't go to no church. And she said, I'm more spiritual than religious.
mm-hmm.
And then what did Danita say? She said something to the effect of, it's about your relationship with him. And she said, or her. I said, oh, Lord, did you go there? Did you go there? You losing all your points with Danita. All your points are lost with her now.
all of it. That was interesting though.
Yes.
Interesting. And what about Rebel's song? So I love that part too. When he brought her in that room about grace and just kind of said, just flow from your heart. And she started singing about grace with
Chandler Moore.
Chandler Moore.
Yes.
That got to me. Now I like that because I like Chandler Moore. But
yeah, exactly.
I did like that part.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
what he does all the time.
Together, it's starting to do, D plus C minus. It's coming together. It is.
I feel like for episodes 4 and 5, they brought in different writers. People who probably said, you know what, we could have started here. You put her in the studio, but we didn't do these worship sessions first.
Yeah.
And then that was the first time that he told her, well, let's pray before you record. Sir, she's been recording for weeks now.
Right.
And you have never prayed.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, so I feel like different people have come in and said, okay, if we're going to make her a gospel artist for this, we need to actually go through the process in order, because she's made a music video, she's had a Bible video, and now all of a sudden, now she needs to do the worship session.
Yeah.
But I did really like that. I would like them to explore more of how she made the transition from Rebecca to Rebel, because she kind of mentions it, but nobody has ever said, like, well, how do we get here? Yes, we know her mother died. She went to juvie. We still don't know what for.
Right.
Like, she's a main character, and I don't know anything about her.
And to your point, Stephanie, what probably happened, now I'm guessing, but what most likely happened is people that wrote the first 3 episodes, they could have ordered them, and then the networks, they probably piloted them, and then they priced it what they liked and didn't like, and they might have brought in a whole different set of writers. You never know, because 4 and 5 feels different than the first
Yeah.
And so that could possibly have happened, because it definitely, it piqued my interest where I was like, okay, I'm not kind of side eyeing what's going on. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. You got my attention. So they more than likely could have brought in different writers. They probably could have went back and said, okay, we need to, because more than likely they probably tested it out to like a test audience, and they got feedback, and probably feedback we gave.
Yeah.
And so then they brought in some people. That's probably why it feels a little bit better to us. I'm curious to watch the next 3 episodes to see if those get even better, because I haven't, I didn't watch, binge watch ahead or anything like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. It's getting better. I think.
Agree.
I think it's getting better.
Yeah.
But wait a minute.
Going back to
no, I was just gonna say in episode 4, the relationship that the bishop has with the police, the chief of police,
in his pocket,
and so he thinks.
Well, so he thinks.
Because the chief of police was basically playing him. He already saw the video.
Right.
His people had already given him the video. Right. And he's asking, as far as the bishop is asking the chief of police, is there any more evidence? We're still trying to find some things, or whatever, but he already had the evidence. And then he called himself, as far as the bishop, like, do you know what we've done for you? Do you know we've contributed as far as to the police department? Do you know basically we put you in your position? And he held his good game face like, That's why I was like, oh, you think you got him, but you don't.
But I don't think.
But he turned it around.
The bishop did it. I think that they're leading us to believe that.
Yeah.
But I don't think he did it. But
no,
yeah,
I don't think he did it either. I think he knows who did it.
Ooh, that's good.
Sasha. I think it was Sasha.
Sasha.
Who are you?
Sasha. Oh, Sasha.
I think it was the club owner.
Okay, separate.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think it was the club owner. To me, is too obvious.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The bishop's too obvious. The club, they're gonna make all evidence lead to him. So watching this, like, I don't think he did it.
Yeah, Sasha knew way too much. Like, this is not your wife. This is your mistress, your other mistress. But she knew that Danny was blackmailing him. She knew, all this stuff about his relationship with Danny, and she was very upset by it.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be her, because she's not the obvious choice.
Yeah. Or maybe it's Sasha and Danita working together.
Oh, that'd be dirty, but yeah. It wouldn't surprise me, because oh my God.
Because Danita is already aware that this man is cheating on her. Like, that is
she make
obvious.
a lot of little comments. Like when he found out that she set the garbage can by the club on fire. He was like, that was my one time to like your multiple. She kind of made that real clear. We're like, oh, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. No.
It's funny, in the beginning, Karen, you mentioned you were about to say her husband, but you said her pastor. And I think referencing him as her pastor versus her husband was the correct reference, because when the club owner came in and called her a B, and he was like, she's the first lady. And I'm like, wait a minute. You didn't say, wait a minute, that's my wife, that's my woman, that's my, like, your first thought was to say, she's the first lady.
Yeah.
So when you said that, it was like, no, you was right the first time. That's her pastor. That's his first lady. And that's like the extent of their relationship.
Yeah.
But you know what, too? I wonder, though, if he does have maybe just a little bit of feelings towards her, as far as the bishop having a little bit of feelings towards Danita. Because when they were doing that interview, and he said, yeah, my wife and I, we are writing a book on marriage. And he said, I will be talking about that basically his infidelity, but he made it seem like it was one time infidelity at the beginning of their marriage or whatever. And the whole look on Yolanda Adams' face was like, she's smiling, but she like, what? You can see what in her eyes or whatever, but she's smiling. And I'm thinking, why would you even bring that up? Why would you even say it? Like, what do you all think his point of even saying that?
I thought it was money. I thought he was trying to figure out a way of how we can bring in more income. They don't have any money. Kingdom is going down. So that's what I figured. He saw a business opportunity.
But he also keeps mentioning, like, he wants her to look at him a certain way. So I'm like, why does he keep saying it's like he wants a real marriage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he wanted a real marriage, but in the words of Evelyn Braxton, he can't lay it low and spread it wide either.
You said lay it low and spread it
wide now.
Oh my God, that was good.
But he does want a real marriage. You know, you can definitely tell. Like he desires her attention. It's like he acts out for her attention. He wants that. So yeah, he wants what's real.
Like a true commitment. He wants a real commitment and not this, because it sounds like they have been faking it till they make it, like all these years through the grown kids. And that's a lot to carry, like for a very long time. So that's not I think he said, I've heard him say that a couple of times, like, I want you to look at me like you really want to be here.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah. He did.
I figured he was just jealous of Caesar. I think he was okay with her not looking at him a certain way or feeling a certain way until he saw somebody else getting that attention. Like when Caesar read him that letter, I think that really struck a nerve. Like, hold on, so you do have feelings. Like you can feel like this about somebody. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of jealousy that she can do that for somebody else, but not for him.
But then that means you gotta care. I mean, because if he getting his jolly zone with all the other women or whatever, and I'm still getting paid, then that don't even matter. But it's almost like, well, I'm not being fulfilled by you, my wife. And I'm a man and I have needs, okay? That's what they say. So I have to get my needs fulfilled by somebody else. But I'm not saying that I don't want to be with you. I'm sure she turned around tomorrow. This is just how I feel. She turned around tomorrow and say, hey, I want to make this work. I think he'll drop everybody and try to make it work. That's just being my thoughts.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
I think so too.
But I think if it was the other way around and he says, hey, I've dropped everybody, I don't want to be with anybody else, I want to make this marriage work, she's gonna be like, boy, bye. You already know what this is about.
She always used this term too, like it's for the kingdom or whatever, something like that.
For the business.
Right, exactly.
We ain't even talking about the kingdom of God. We're talking about kingdom records, kingdom church.
Exactly. I'm like, whoa, this is a little bit deep. So
exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's picking up. I think it's getting way better than the first three.
Yeah.
I do think Essence and Rebel at some point are gonna get into it. And they have to, because Taj finally had sex with Essence. However, it was after Rebel almost kissed him.
Right.
So I'm like, something is going to happen with them as well. What? I don't know.
But I think she knows she's not being blindsided, because she knows he's with somebody. She knows that already. They weren't like Essence was hidden.
Yeah, I think Rebel knows, but I don't think Essence knows
that's true.
He didn't come to have sex with you because he just wanted to have sex with you.
Right.
He was feeling old girl over here and then came to you. So I think it's going to be on Essence.
He's been celibate for a while. So
he said.
Well, so he said, but they've been celibate for a while. I was like, man, that passion must have been burning in you.
He must have had that he was celibate like Nick Cannon.
Oh.
Nick Cannon was celibate for about 2 weeks.
Right. I was gonna say, baby number what? Well, I want all my kids to be on mama. If that ain't the ignorant,
Oh my God.
Really. That's my gift to all my kids. All my babies have their own mama. I'm gonna need you to stop.
Foolishness.
Yeah.
Foolishness.
But with these 2 episodes, something is coming because there were so many clues, and I'm like, wait, what do you mean by that? Like when the police officer said, I'm really missing you at our get-togethers. It was like, what? When y'all get together? What are you talking about?
Right, true.
And then the club owner was like, I can't remember what he referred to the people as, but kind of like these other people are kind of really upset about what's going on, and you want to keep them happy. It's like, who are you talking about? Who are these people? So it's like they kept dropping so many clues to say this is coming. So I hope it comes in the next episode, and it's not a thing of wait till season 2.
If it's season 2,
you know it's gonna be a cliffhanger, Stephanie. You already know that. It's gonna be a cliffhanger.
So we'll just have to do the last podcast of telling what's gonna happen because they're not coming back. So we just gonna have to conclude it.
Make it up. Just make it up, like what we think gonna happen.
Right. Because it's stripped out. When you think about it, it's not like this. They're still recording. It's done. All of them are out there. Now, usually when this is like a weekly series, maybe halfway through, you will see something on the internet where it's like, hey, ABC company, has been renewed for season 2. Have y'all saw anything?
They might not release it till, we're going into like summer. They may release it in the fall. You never know.
We're gonna see.
Yeah.
Because they still waiting for people to watch it. They waiting for people to watch it.
That last episode is gonna be like the Cosby Show when Theo graduated, what's that called, was pregnant. They move like everything is going to happen
at one time.
That's when we're gonna like it. Oh my God. It was so
oh my God.
But it's definitely it's getting better.
Yeah.
It is. So we all agree that episode 4 and 5, it went from a snooze fest to it kind of got our attention now. So Stephanie, what would you give episodes 4 and 5? So 1 to 10.
I will give them a 6. I did like those.
We moved on up to a 6. Okay, what about you, Tawana?
A 7. I'll give him a 7.
7.
Yep.
Yeah. What about you, Kiran?
I'm at about a 6.5.
6.5, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm with you. I'm about a 6.5. It definitely, and I would have to say, the scene with Chandler Moore with the singing, that pulled my heartstrings, like that got me. And
then she ran out.
Learning more about CJ really helped, as well.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, overall, don't get me wrong. I laugh at a lot of the stuff that's supposed to be serious, but I'm not supposed to do it. And in your words, Kiran, I want to line everybody up and slap them sometimes. But I think that we're starting to get somewhere. So I think I'm now. I want to see what's going to happen in the next
couple episodes. It's funny. I just want to say this. It's talking about trying to be sympathetic, trying to be in the moment. When that baby ran up out of the worship shed, I said, "What, girl?" Now I'm supposed to be like, "Oh, all of us. Oh, what's wrong?" Oh, I said, "Girl, if y'all."
It's like you find yourself laughing at the most. Like for me, I'm not supposed to be laughing, but I'm laughing. What's happening?
Exactly.
I think like what you were saying, Stephanie, with like Yolanda Adams was in her car while she was burning down the place. You looking like that's your man face. You laughing. That's how just was like, what?
Just trying too hard to put the meme
Exactly. No.
When they do shoot season 2, that it's I imagine it would have to get better because they kind of looked at season 1, looked at the writers, looked at the reviews, and make it better.
Yeah.
So far, I'm gonna say I'm happy with the direction that it is going. I'm glad that I was patient and stuck it out because it is getting a little bit better. And I'm loving these cameos by these other artists. Like we've seen Kiara Sheard and now Chandler Moore. We're starting to see. I'm loving it. So
yeah, we saw Isaac Curry.
Oh yeah.
And what's the other girl? Leandra Johnson, is that her name?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I do like that they are showing different sides of gospel. Like that first episode, you had the traditional gospel song, Open It Up. You have praise and worship. You have more inspirational. So they are showing that gospel is not, it's about the good news, but how you distribute the good news comes in many ways. So I do like that music. I never doubted that the music wouldn't be good. I would like them to stop singing that song from Danita, because she said it was focusing on that album. Well, we've heard one song from that album. I need you not to sing that song.
They canceled the concert. We were going to hear more, but they canceled the concert.
If I hear this song one more time.
That's the signature song.
Right.
Kirk Franklin stopped singing Why We Sing at some point. When is she gonna stop singing this?
Yeah, or Stomp. I could, after a while, I was like, Stomp this song out. I'm done with it.
Oh my God.
But you know what? Even look, it's talking about Kirk Franklin. We still singing Now Behold the Lamb, and that gets me every time. Every time. Every time they play that.
Oh my God. It's like the first time, every time you hear it.
Every time. That song gets to me.
This song is not a Now Behold the Lamb.
This is okay.
We would love to hear your comments about this show. We would love to hear, your thoughts and opinions about episodes 1 through 4 so far. Well, 1 through 5 rather. So far, we would just want to hear, did you like it? What's your rating? Do you think it got better as we thought it got better? Do you share our opinions? Are you upset with us? Do you really like the show? Let us know. It's getting better to us. We all kind of have the same, I feel like everyone has the same, consensus that it is picking up, it's getting better.
Yes.
And now I'm excited to see what episodes 6, 7, and 8 will bring. So join us when we, I think we're going to review episode 6 and 7 next week.
Yes.
And then the final episode the week after that. So we're excited. And then tell us what show you want us to do next. We're very excited to do these. So let us know what show you want us to do next. Kirana, I've been really watching some good Netflix shows. And then we mentioned some reality shows. So I don't know. Do you guys, Tawana and Stephanie, I've just started watching Real Housewives of Dubai. I found that interesting. I don't know if you guys caught that. It's really good. And I think it would be interesting because it's a brand new Housewives.
Yeah.
Atlanta is like the original, like the best OG brown girl ensemble. And I think that's saturated. Everyone's doing Potomac and Atlanta. So maybe looking at Dubai. I think we could possibly do that. Or if there's a show that you want us to look at, let us know. I'm open. I'm willing. Leave all your comments below, and we'll tag our Instagram. And I want to see if Stephanie and Tawana, do you guys want us to tag your Instagram and
absolutely
follow you as well?
Sure, it's nothing on there, but sure.
I love it. Until next time, besties, we'll see you. Bye.
Bye, besties.
Thanks for joining us today. See you next time. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.